And then getting back to the ordinance 2 transfer rule, which is item 8 in the packet. I didn't get a chance to talk about that. Again, the board at the last meeting amended the ordinance 2 rule, or amended ordinance 2 to allow for the transfer of prepaid ordinance 2 fees. And staff has gone through and created this proposed rule that's in the packet right now to allow us to administer that. And the highlights of the rule are the original ordinance 2 fees have to have been paid on a parcel of property. Excess ordinance 2 fees that are available from an existing subdivision can be moved to another subdivision within the district's area. Has to have equivalent ERU or meter sizes in the transfer, so 3/4 inch for 3/4 inch, or 4 3/4 inches for a 3-inch line, I believe. Whatever our ERU schedule shows, so that we make sure that we stay within the number of ERUs that are allowed for the size of meters that are going to be used. And then the applicant, and this is one of the hardest things that we had to deal with in trying to come up with this rule, is the applicant has to demonstrate that they're the owner of the old property, and several owners have LLCs set up where they have multiple ownerships in properties, and part of this requires them to have all owners' interests of that property sign off and attest that they're okay with the transfer of the ordinance 2 fees, and that no one will be harmed in the transfer of those ordinance 2 fees.
That's on the third party indemnification language.
So, and again, it establishes the fees as we just talked about, so that it covers staff time in implementing the policy. So,
well, you guys have been busy.
Just a little bit. Staff has done a great job in pulling that together. Gained a few gray hairs on this effort.
Well, and some of these fees were old. I mean, we needed to update them.
I think they were go back to 2006. The existing 2001.
Some were 2001, some 2006.
Yeah. $4 lien fee. That's kind of. Any more discussion?
Well, I'll reserve my discussion until after public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, at this time we'll open it up for public comment. Ms. Elliston.
Barbara Ellisted, Mesquite Citizen Journal. I have a couple questions. On the amended map fee, I know that's a new fee. So, as an example scenario, I'm a developer. Well, I'm looking at the proposed fee schedule.
Can't read. Which is an amended map fee?
Yeah, that
Okay,
one.
yeah, I got you.
That one.
Okay.
I know it's a new fee. Let's say that I'm a developer. I bring you plans for a new subdivision. So I'm going to pay the plan check fee when I bring you the plans for that new subdivision the first time. I'm going to pay the plan check fee. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure
Yep.
I understand this. So then I say, okay, I want to change the map. So now instead of having 2 roads, I'm going to have 3 roads. Instead of 50 houses, I'm going to have 75 houses. I bring that back to you and I pay the amended map fee, which is $350 plus $75 for each additional lot that was not in the original plans that I brought to you. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. Yes.
So I got that part straight. Then I'm also going to pay, where do I pay the ordinance 2 fees? Initial ordinance 2 fees.
It's actually what's being, any lot being amended, whether it's included in the original or not, additional.
Okay.
Typically, when you have an amended map, you've got a final map that's already been recorded. And then they're going in and they're either taking out lots, they're moving property lines, they're adding lots. And so basically what we're proposing is you have to submit the application and the 350 so we can look at that, so that we can determine whether additional ordinance 2 fees have been paid. And now with the new request to have them transferred somewhere else, this will let us know how many lots that would be available to be transferred. So it's the review fee of the original review fee for the plan check, that's for the improvement plans, because in the process you have improvement tentative map that would have to be submitted with an amended, you have improvement plans and a final map. So the improvement plans would need to be reviewed by staff and or our engineer to make sure that all the laterals that need to be abandoned are abandoned, all of the laterals that need to be moved are moved, so that we can follow all of the code that's mandated on us. The amended final map is also another thing, because they have to submit it to us also, and addresses get changed. You know, we have to look at the lot lines. We have inspectors that go out and make sure that the lines have been abandoned where they are, that they're not hitting the driveways. So there's different steps in there. There's the plan fee, that's the improvement plan, and then there's the amended final map, which it's 2 different things.
Okay. Where do I pay the initial ordinance 2 fee on this
That
list?
would be when the original subdivision went into play.
But you don't have it listed on here.
These
So-
are administrative fees, those aren't,
How's an
that's
ordinance?
not our water rates or the ordinance to impact or installation of meters. It's not included on these fees.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm almost sorry I asked the question.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
I'm glad Valerie
It's
here to
good that
explain
it's good that it's there for the public. You know, it takes it really is. As we're going through, I mean, I have maps that we have color coordinated for the different amendments, and you're like, okay, this property, you know, 5 lots went into 4 lots, and then they went into 2 lots, and you know, it's quite cumbersome to the staff, and we want to make sure that the developer's paying for that, not the ratepayers. So it's them asking for the amendments, so they should be the ones that pay for the time that the staff has to do that's additional. So that's kind of why this amended map thing came up in the ordinance to transfer fees. So.
I'll give you $50 if you write that part of my article.
Tim Harper, Michigan Local News. Following up on Barbara's question, she gets all of these fees for her development. She pays for them with a check, and the check bounces. Right? That costs $25. Now, is it another $25 when the check is returned, if there's still insufficient funds, or is that for an additional second check?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
And you stop at 25?
I just wanna,
Maps wouldn't be signed and
We just talked about that return.
first it would be $20.
the checks that where we're talking about the checks not honored, that's more like any check. It's not necessary. That's not just developers. That's for any customer that comes in. If they have a check that's been returned, they get charged $25 on their account, and then they have to come back in. If, I think in our policies, if they have 2 or 3 within a certain period, they're not allowed to even do checks. They have to pay with cash, cashier's check, or credit card from that point forward. So this is just standard for anybody that comes in and pays the water district for money. If they have a return check, they get charged the $25.
Okay, so this isn't when your bank submits the check to the person's bank.
If it
there's
comes-
still insufficient funds.
We only submit them once. If it goes through and it comes back, we do not resubmit any checks. It gets the $25.
So if I write a bad check this month and I write a bad check next month,
You'll have to pay with
that's
either
what the
credit-
second return check means.
Yeah, we're gonna shut your water off. Don't say it.
After that, it'll be.
Cash only,
Cash.
Barbara, cash only.